Hey everyone, and welcome to the next edition of the Snapchat. I'm joined today by Cozy Snap. Cozy's a little under the weather, but that's okay. We got him here on the Snapchat, ready to talk, ready to roll, ready to talk about our review of Kahhori, who, honestly, Cozy, we both came in at 3.5 stars. We were kind of like, I wouldn't say excited about Kahhori. I'll tell you, I don't want to speak for you, but I was excited to be playing cards that Kahhori plays with again, like the Victoria Hands and the Devil Dinosaurs and stuff like that. Unfortunately, Kahhori has a bit of a mixed bag. In terms of overall win rate right now, it's currently running a 50% flat win rate according to Untapped Infinite Only statistics at a 12% popularity. So it's not doing great, but one deck has emerged as a winner for Kahhori. But elsewhere, in specifically Devil Dinosaur and Victoria Hand, she's barely breaking a 50% win rate here. And I'll discuss the deck that's performing particularly well in a moment here, but I want to give get your general thoughts on Kahhori up front.
Yeah, like I think we talked about. I think she still lands above Gwenpool and below Galacta. I think that's kind of like where I don't know though, because it feels like she has her spots and slots that she can work in. Did a little bit of her and Thanos, sure, that works out, right? And but the Devil Dinosaur just didn't quite cut it, and that's. I think they even tried to pad that a little bit with the OTA and try to get the +1, as we just talked about on my side, wasn't going to be enough. Like, imagine if they gave him +2 power, then maybe, just maybe, it'd be enough to tip the scales.
It's entirely possible. And actually, you alluded to the Thanos version, which is by far the top Kahhori shell right now. According to Untapped-based statistics, Infinite Only, I'll throw it up on the screen here, but for the audio listeners, 59% win rate. And you're looking at a fantastic cube rate of, as of recording, 0.51. Ant-Man, Goliath, that absolutely banger card that Cozy and I gave 5 stars to. Dazzler, Captain America Sam Wilson, Cosmo, Speed. Guys, Speed's making a deck. Kahhori, Wiccan, Blue Marvel, Spectrum, Mockingbird, and Thanos himself. And, Mockingbird's beautiful in a deck like this, too, because you got the Sam Wilson shield, all the stones. It feels like free real estate. Kahhori has a fantastic time putting down power because of all the Thanos stones hand draw. And actually, I'll be honest with you, could cut, I would almost cut Speed from this deck and put or even cut Wiccan and put Devil Dinosaur. And honestly, I think he could fit. You got the Cosmo in there to protect him anyways. He's going to be nice and chunky. But yeah, so Kahhori did found a deck. And so sometimes that's all that you really need for a card to be successful. But ultimately, Cozy, I look at this card and I'm like, man, you're looking at a Spotlight Cash with Cull Obsidian, Hydration Bobbert, and you're like, Bobbert's coming in a bundle as well. It's not a good cash. I don't think this is a good roll, especially with the changes upcoming. I think you save your keys.
Yeah, I think we've said that. I think we said that just like we did with the Ultron to open up. We were like, we just don't, unless you could get 2 cards that you need, and even then, yeah, it wasn't exactly one that you want. I think you save them. Hold on tight. We're not far, guys. We're like 20 days, not even, from getting snap packs into the game. And so at that point you can get her as just a random pull, which will feel good, and the way they split these packs, I know we're about to talk about it, but she'll be in that kind of upper tier pack. And so you got a lot of these cards kind of are fine to be in there, and she's going to be relatively cheaper just because you're not going to have bad luck and pull stuff that you might already have. But yeah, you said it right. Sometimes it only takes one deck, but it feels like she was going to be a card that could work in multiple.
It did feel that way. And there was a chance, and I kind of wish the Victoria Hand stuff performed better, because it just didn't. It just didn't. That's it. That's all I have to say about that. Like, the Victoria Hand stuff did not perform as well as it should have. And so Kahhori, I think, was leaning into that a lot. Now, obviously, with the Thanos shells, they are performing well. But Thanos shells have been performing pretty decently over the last little while quietly. Especially like you have a couple Loki-based Thanos shells, which have been pretty good performers. Especially since if you have Loki on turn 1, but you have stones in your hand, those stones will turn into Loki'd cards as you play them down, right? So Kahhori finds herself, a bit of a one-trick right now. But if there is a miracle OTA that buffs Victoria Hand and that archetype gets buffed. Because if you think about it, right, you had Starbrand come out. It felt pretty mid, but then they didn't buff Starbrand. They changed Sauron. And all of a sudden, Starbrand's everywhere. Starbrand's good. And Kahhori just might have to see something like that. You might see the Victoria Hand get buffed, or Devil Dinosaur get buffed again or something, right? Yeah.
That's what it's going to take. Yeah, I think sadly for it. I mean, Kahhori also, I guess, You got the synergy with Infinity Ultron because he adds cards to the hand, but also that's the problem with her. She's the 4, so it's just awkward to play in that regard. But yeah, she, I guess what we could give her is there's going to be cards that give hand generation in the future, and if there's some really good stuff that curve up nicely, she's going to be even better. That's the best she's got going for her.
Yeah, she's not far off, but I don't think she's a card that you need to pick up right now. For me and Cozy, it sounds like as well. It's getting a pass here. Save your keys, and it's also a great example as to why you should be not FOMOing in on release day. Wait until like the reviews come in. Wait till the decks shape up, and go from there, because sometimes you can find yourself disappointed in the results. But talking about not being disappointed in results here, or potentially disappointed, depending on who you are, we did get some critical information that we were missing on our first conversation about snap packs. We saw the general principle of snap packs. We saw the reveal trailer. And finally, they have released via a very entertaining video with a number of different creators, friends of ours that have, did get a chance to grill the Marvel Snap development team as to what was up with all the snap packs, how much were they going to cost, because that was like the key thing. We did not know how much snap packs were going to cost, and now we have that information. So Cozy, I'm going to throw it up on the screen here. So for the audio viewers, I'll break it down quick, but essentially what you have here is for the new card, the Series 5 card coming out each and every week, it's going to be 6,000 tokens, which is consistent with what we're seeing now. You're going to have a seasonal Series 5 card, and that is going to be the seasonal Series 5 pack, I should say, which is going to have all the cards that have been released in the given season, and that is going to be 5,000 tokens. You have the seasonal Series 4 cards, which is 2,500 tokens, so half of the cost of the Series 5. And then after that season has kind of relinquished itself, you have the collector's packs. You're going to have the Series 5 collector's packs being 4,000 tokens, the Series 4 collector's packs, 2,000 tokens, and the Series 3 collector's packs at 650. To add to this, just to hit you with all the information up front, you'll be getting 50 free tokens per day, once a day, not 3 times as the credits are. They currently have a couple of early pricing for tokens in the token shop. 1,000 tokens at 1,300 gold, 2,500 tokens at 3,100 gold, and then currently the largest they have publicly shown is 5,000 tokens for 6,000 gold, which is not inexpensive. And now when I saw those numbers, it kind of did make me nervous. So we do have a lot to talk about here, but Cozy, right off the top, what are your thoughts on the pricing?
What was the last one there? 5,000 for 6,000?
5,000 tokens for 6,000 gold.
And 6,000 gold's how much again?
Oh, man. USD's hard because I don't see USD, right? I get the Canadian exchange.
Hold on.
I don't know if you know this, but our Canadian dollar is not worth a whole lot right now. So
6,000.
I'm not sure. It's expensive. 8,000 is like $140.
Yeah, so 8,000 is $100, right? So yeah, that ain't cheap. Compared to the new system, the Spotlight system, you're paying 5,000 for no dupes. That's nice. Like that's a big dubs right there.
Yeah, no dupes is huge. Yeah,
but no dupes is like the whole kit and caboodle, right? So 5,000 for that is big, and you're getting the Spotlight keys though are worth 3,000 of it. Yeah, I think for sure the pricing was the biggest like deflate of it, and just like the old like the packs I gotta keep up with. I'm like, okay, you get the collective pack and this pack. The Series 4 and Series 3 feel good. The seasonal one is 5,000. It's the last 2 seasons or the last 1 season? I think it's two seasons, right?
Yeah, it's going to be the last 2 seasons, because the season pass card enters the seasonal pack for a single season because it was the season pass card prior. So yeah, it's the prior 2 seasons, then the rest turn into the collectors. So it almost has like, honestly, and they even talked about the fact that they are going to be evaluating series drops as a whole with this new system, because the way that the packs are working, they kind of drop themselves, right? The way they kind of step down, but the lowest you step down is 4,000 tokens for a Series 5 pack, right? Whereas Series 4 packs are almost basically half the price. They're legit half the price. So series drops would still be a very beneficial thing for collectors and people trying to round out their collection. But if you're someone who plays every single day and you try to stay on top of it, there is a bit of a cadence for how things kind of drop down through the packs.
And remind the viewers, when you're just like leveling up, the tokens you can get in the level up track is how much now?
So you get 3,000 on the what's it called? The spotlight keys are now being replaced with 3,000 each time. So that's every 120 collection level. And then each individual, I believe, is still 100. I don't even open reserve, so I believe it's still 100, correct?
Yeah, I think so.
It's such a silly thing to not remember.
Right, dude. So when you look at that way, I think there are certain like groups that are winning, right, more than others. And I think that's like the consensus. I think overall, it's good. I will say overall, I wish it was better though. There's two like schools of thought, I guess. And mainly I think it was just the pricing of tokens. But it's tough to do because you're removing a currency and then you're kind of dealing with a currency that's already been there. So like there's some hurdles they got to go through with all that and the pricing of that. Like if you hoarded tokens forever, then you're probably looking pretty good here. But yeah, it's the pricing of the tokens is the only thing that I think was negative. Everything else I'm pretty pumped for.
The tokens seem very expensive, but if they improve the acquisition rate of the tokens,
yes.
which they are,
which
because
they said they are, yeah.
Yeah, because the spotlight keys themselves are going to be giving 3,000, which is not insignificant. Remember, the duplicates only used to be 1,000, and then it was Cozy Snap who demanded an increase, and then they increased to 2,000 at Cozy Snap's demand.
And didn't
so
they say
we're moving
something,
up to 3,000 now.
Didn't they say something about being able to add tokens in different forms of medium now too? Like so they could put them in like, I thought he said something about it going in season passes and stuff. Like they could start giving tokens in other places to feel like, you know, potentially in Sanctum Sanctorum, whatever. Like there's a bunch of places that they could end up putting them to continue to like give you essentially credit towards a free card.
Dude, I hope they do. They absolutely should, because there's a couple things that stand out. And so there's a whole bunch we need to talk about. But first of all, the collection track still kind of sucks. There's so much empty space there. You still get boosters, which are largely useless. Especially when you think about like there's that express upgrade in the shop, which I still think should not erase the boosters. If you're using express upgrade, let the person keep the boosters for the card they're upgrading. That's just my 2 cents.
Yeah.
Especially since you have literally second dinner, zero incentive to split cards because the mastery system sucks. Anyways, that's a whole other conversation. Not the master system sucks. Does it suck? I don't know. I've not wanted to split a card in the longest time. So let me keep my damn boosters. They're cringe already. That's a whole other conversation. But one thing that's worth noting as well is that you have bonus goodies in the packs. We don't want to miss this. So when you open up a Series 5 seasonal pack for 5,000, they're saying that essentially 10% of the value of the pack, so 5,000, you should be getting about 500 tokens worth of free goodies, whether it's premium mystery borders, a new type of reward that they've added, mystery variants, premium mystery variants, tokens, credits, and of course boosters. But it could also be bonus cards. Now we don't have the stats on that. I would like to know what the chances are of like, oh look, I pulled a Series 5 card and another Series 5 card from a singular pack. Chances are it's not very high odds, but I think that those types of odds would have been great for this breakdown. We don't have it right now. But what I will say is that like it also, the cheaper the pack you buy, the less the rewards are. There's also something very important to pick up on this conversation as well, is that if you're someone who basically gets every single card every single week, you're technically getting a discount. Because when you have a seasonal Series 5 pack with the new card in it, it only has one card and you're guaranteed it for 5,000. Let's say you're like, you know what, I don't want Kahhori, I want to roll for Infinity Ultron. You're now 50-50 rolling that 5,000 tokens. It's back to the Spotlight Cash feel, right? Whereas you're going to commit 6,000 tokens, which is 1,000 tokens more, to guarantee the Kahhori or guarantee the Infinity Ultron. And so that's something you need to keep in mind. Someone who's buying everything every week will technically be getting the new card for a 1,000 token less.
But at least I like the fact that at least you're getting a new card like with that like roll, and you're not like risking it all for the hydration bobbert or whatever. Like at least now it's like, okay, either get Kahhori or get the Ultron or yeah, dude, I said it. That pain.
You said it. I'm so happy you said it. I'm gonna clip it.
Sick brain.
I'm gonna clip it, Cozy.
It's a sick brain, bro. I defaulted to it. There's a lot to like here. It is the offer, like just how we couldn't evaluate it without the token acquisition, like we have to see that now with what you're getting with these packs. And it's almost like a bit of a feel thing. Like some cards you have to play and feel how it is. We're going to have to log in and kind of feel how this is going to be.
But another couple things that we need to mention here is that they did mention that obviously tokens are going to be like the absolute key currency moving forward here. And they're going to be evaluating the influx of tokens for people. And I want to be very clear. It's based on my conversations with the Snap team with regards to the system and everything. I believe that they're legitimately committed to making their system better. This isn't just like they're not trying to just throw something out there to appease the audience and say, look, we did something. If you don't like it, whatever. I think they're committed to improving this. I think they recognize that this is a major pain point in their game, the card acquisition model, and that this is going to be a major improvement overall. And so I actually truly believe that if we're not getting enough tokens, or if the system's not working as well as we feel like it should be, they're going to create influxes of tokens, whether that's going to be through the season pass, which honestly is probably fair. We've always talked about how the season pass tends to be a very high quality purchase in terms of Marvel Snap. If you're going to spend any money, that $10 tends to go a long way. But also they did specifically mention that they're going to be rethinking, as you mentioned before, tokens as rewards. And more specifically, Token Tuesday is a lever that they could use to create more opportunities to get more tokens into the ecosystem at more generous rates. And so I do think that's an important thing to consider as well.
Yeah, and I think what's important for Snap too is players coming back, because like obviously you had a very high influx of players before, and getting people to come back is always like so hard. Like it's just a very hard thing to do in anything that you play, do, buy. Companies are always trying to figure that out, right? So for them, they're not going to do it, but they need to market this the right way. Like if I were them, it's like, okay, you have this new way of playing and getting the cards you want to play in Snap. That was the main pain point for so many players, like big or small. You know, I was watching a game, Commander at Home, and I think Brian was saying on there, he's like, it was just too hard to get cards I wanted to play with. It's like, from him to somebody who just randomly installed, that was a pain point, and you have to get it in front of their face that the game's changed. They keep rerunning the Loki October ad as like a YouTube ad. It's like, cut that and put in, or even more. It's like, again, they got to get Alex Coccia on screen. Pay you, man. Pay you to do a breakdown of this and then market that out on TikTok. I don't know. They've got to get this into the eyes of the old players a little bit, because this will help Snap a ton, the new packs, especially retain what they have right now, but to get what they did have, and which is so good for the health of the game. The more players you have, just the better the ecosystem, the more update, everything about it. And that's what I want. That's what you want. And to get that, they have to put this in. They have a good product now, put it in front of the right people.
Now, I don't know much about like game marketing. Maybe you have a better idea of this. I do know that like in terms of like marketing and advertisement, the hardest thing for a free-to-play game is getting someone in the door. Like the actual cost to acquire a new customer is very high, and it's even higher to acquire a paying customer. I would be curious to know if anybody in the comments, or if you, Cozy, yourself know, is it harder to get someone to re-engage, or is it easier to get someone to re-engage?
Easier.
Because if you have someone who has an existing account, who already has a couple season pass cards,
much
already,
easier.
It's much way easier,
cheaper and easier, 100%. Like just in
and
business,
you probably have
101
their emails and stuff too. Yeah.
Just 101, it's easier to keep a customer than retain it, than get a new one. Like that's like tale as old as time, because, and especially in something like Snap, right? Because they already know what they're getting into. It's not easy, regardless. But getting anything, like, bro, the amount of times I like purge my apps on my phone, I'm like, what the hell is this thing on my phone? Let me get rid of that. So that's, unfortunately, whenever games are out for a long time, they start to lose their marketing power, and they don't put their money back into that. Games that do continue to succeed, especially live service games, and Snap is a live service game, right? So you would think that that's where they want to put a lot of it. There's still Fortnite ads getting spit out to people, and how long they don't even need it at this point, right? And so they got to get back to those customers some way or another, whether it's through general ads or what be it.
I have a great example of this, and I know this is a bit off the beaten path. And we will get to Snap Packs specifically. I have 2 more points about Snap Packs and potential negatives. But talking about getting people back in and re-engaged. So Warzone, Call of Duty Warzone, they've re-released the original Warzone map.
Oh, yeah.
They got rid of all they re-released it, and now all my buddies are like, buddy, we're back. Like, this is the old one from like 5 years ago. I remember this stadium. Like, it's so nostalgic for them, even though it's only been 5 years. All my buddies are playing Warzone again.
Oh, yeah.
All of them. They're all asking me to play with them because they brought them back. They gave them what they wanted. And it's a great example. Like Blizzard did the same thing. People are like, hey, we want World of Warcraft Classic. Blizzard's like, you don't want that. You think you do. They're like, no, we want it, damn it. We want it. And then now look at it. It's literally like an absolute gargantuan machine.
Old school RuneScape.
Right?
Old school RuneScape is bigger than the old game of RS3, like by a country mile. And at first they were like, no, we're not doing it. If we get enough people to sign up, maybe. Then the maybe happened. Then that snowballed, and now that's the game. That's what people are playing, right? Because people want what they once loved. And Snap, what everybody's favorite point of it was when you first installed it, and the collection track was amazing, and getting card acquisition was amazing. If they can bring back that feeling through Snap Packs, they've got the ticket.
They do. They do. And they have the gameplay. They have a tremendously talented studio. They can bring it back. I don't want people to think that like, oh, Snap's on its last legs. This is a huge chance for them to right the ship. And Coccia, I agree. They got to get it right with the marketing. Two final points I want to make before we move on to our Snapchat mailbag is that there are two major weaknesses to this system that have kind of crept into my mind. I want to throw your way. The first is that skipping weeks now feels very challenging because if you skip a week, like in the case of Kahhori, all of a sudden it's like, well, I want Infinity Ultron. I got to pay $6,000 or else I'm 50-50ing. If you skip even more weeks of that season, you're now like shooting 20. Now you're just in the Spotlight Cash system again, right? And so the seasonal packs, I don't know if they have this intended effect of like they progressively get worse if the opening weeks of the season are worse. So if the opening few weeks are bad cards, the later weeks feel worse to try to commit to. You know what I mean? Because you've skipped cards going in. However, if you front load the good cards, you're more willing to roll that first week $5,000. Next week,
we got to keep eyes on this. We got to keep eyes on it because typically the good cards always come the first week or two. Every time, like it's always. Dude, we got to keep an eye on this for seasons to come because if they start to put those in the back end, I'm gonna be.
See, you know what I mean? Now that you think about it, you see what I mean, right? You skip weeks early on, it makes the rest of the month harder to roll into.
Bro, let's be so
the
obvious
other thing worth noting. Yeah, I know. Well, hey, if you're planning that second, then we're on to you already.
We're on to you.
Don't even think about it. We're on to you already. The other thing worth noting here is that, oh man, you used to be able to one-tap cards. Now, this is a bit of cope, I agree. But when you rolled a single tap on a Spotlight key, 3,000 tokens, technically, right? 3,000 tokens. That's 2,000 tokens cheaper than the seasonal pack, and also 3,000 tokens cheaper than committing the tokens to the card. However, let's be honest, you often four-banged in the keys. You're not always running the one single drop. Let's say on average, you're getting 2 or 3 keys, 2.5 keys per attempt at a new card. So this system on aggregate is going to be more generous compared to the prior system. However, if you have streamer's luck and sometimes you hit that one key, you technically got the card for almost half price. And so I guess that opportunity no longer exists anymore. But again, it's a bit of cope because on aggregate, it will be cheaper overall.
Yeah. That's, again, we need to, 20 days from now, we'll get our hands on the card, the acquisition, and see exactly how it feels.
Yeah, but I am looking forward to the change, just like I'm looking forward to the Snapchat mailbag. Cozy, we got a bunch of questions here, and don't worry, only a couple of them have to do with your clothing. Don't worry, sir. But the first question I want to bring up here is a question about the fact that we talked about the worst cards in the game and missed out on one, and Femens333 was not having it, who said, about the worst cards in the game, I'm impressed you guys forgot about Domino. She legit makes your deck objectively worse and isn't even played in Wiccan.
Yeah, that's, you know what? It actually crossed the mind because I saw Quicksilver and like, oh no, Wiccan. I'm like, Domino. I'm like, we did bring it. Domino's a heap of garbage. And we came up with like different, like perfect luck. You know, you have no more 25% chances, or if you play, you know, Bruce Banner and Domino's there, it's 100% chance. I don't know, like you just get rid of chance, but no, I doubt that'll happen.
Continuing with the conversation is Zenimations, who said, I'm about to blow your mind with this comment. Supergiant and Valkyrie are my top 5 favorite cards in the game, and I play them both together. I use Supergiant to hide Valkyrie on turn 5, often where my opponent is focusing their power, which completely blinds them since no one's expecting it. I know they kind of suck at times, and this is hard to pull off, but I love finding new ways to make them work.
I dig it, man. Hey, 30% win rates are fun too. Like, as long as you can have a good time doing it, that's all that matters, right?
Roasted by Cozy Snap.
No, I'm just
officially.
kidding. But no, I totally agree, man. Like, have fun with it at this point. Like, and when you do win, it feels that much better too, you know?
I just love this guy's like coming in with this like, guys, I cooked. You talked about 2 cards that potentially are bad. I cooked with them, and Cozy's like,
What do you
congrats
have
on
to
your
say about it
30%
over there?
win rate, bro.
You're just reading the questions. Give me your feedback over there, Coccia.
Oh man, I don't know. I can appreciate a good cook, but the deck probably does suck. Let's be honest. But no, we appreciate you, Zenimations. You're doing God's work out there, trying to cook with Valkyrie and Supergiant, and that's going to bring us to our next statement here. And this is in defense of Cozy Snap because he got a little sweaty, got a little thirsty last week, and clever name. Sometimes I laugh at the name. Clever name 1349 said, "Cozy's White Queen take is absolutely accurate and not cope. Her sexuality is a huge part of her character, and it's always been."
Thank you, clever name.
Dude, I gotta tell you, so I've been playing a lot of Marvel Rivals because, first of all, gotta love the Cozy Snap video. So I tried to find my perfect main. I wasn't sure. Watched it on the Cozy video. Been perfect maining Rocket ever since. And I gotta tell you, dude, the absolute thirst trap that is that the White Queen stuff is actually crazy.
She's doing her job.
And I heard something. I'm going to repeat this because it came up last week. I don't even know if I want it. Do I say this? Okay, I'm going to say it. All right. So last week we were introduced to a new term, which was goon. And I didn't know what that meant.
Gooning.
And then so I to my chagrin, I looked it up and then immediately deleted my history. But what I'll tell you is that it's become very clear to me that Marvel Rivals is not free to play. It's not pay to win. It's clearly pay to goon. Because when you look at that White Queen variant, it is absolutely just ridiculous.
Here's the beauty of it all, though. If you pay for it, you know, and you're playing her with the skin, you only get you only see the back of her cloak. But if other people pay for it, then you're winning. So it's actually technically free to goon.
Damn, Cozy, you're just cooking hard. Talk about impactful OTAs. They even increased the butt size of dudes.
I saw that. They gave Wolverine a little extra curve and Star-Lord a little extra bump.
Fidhart Snap comes in with another question, and it reads, question for you guys for the next Snapchat. Do you guys still play Conquest? If not, do you think it's worth changing it to make it more interesting?
I do for content. I actually prefer Conquest for some content rather than Sweat Ladder. But
because they can't retreat? I hate retreating.
Can't retreat,
so much
and
sometimes.
it's just more enjoyable as like a storyline. Like when you're on ladder, you're like, let's just run it 30 times and see what happens. Whereas like Conquest, you know, you got a mission.
That's fair, man. I haven't played a Conquest game in probably 6 months, and I got my Infinity Borders I like. I got my Moon Girl. The goggles do nothing. I got that combination with title Moon Girl thing. I'm totally happy with it. I got the singing Black Bolt, which is exactly what I wanted. Paid $100 for that skin and avatar. So, you know, those were in the other days where I was spending money on the game. I did joke about it though in my recent video. They got me with the Gundams, man.
Oh,
I had not spent much money on the game.
Yeah, those are sick.
I was looking at those Gundams, $140 Canadian. I gotta keep my wife just heard me say
Dude, right,
cooked. She could hear me say that. I spent $4. $4 on those skins.
A whopping $5 on those variants.
You know what's funny? If I told my wife I spent $5 on a card skin, she'd still tell me it's a waste of money.
That you don't have that's digital? Oh, I know. I just try not to think about it.
It still roasts me so
I try
hard,
not to think about it. Yeah. It's like
the last statement of the Snapchat here. We're closing with an absolute beauty here. And Cozy, I did promise we're going to have at least one conversation about your look, your signature style. And it's a double comment, Cozy, because they were back to back on my feed, and I figured I'll just snip them both together. Yulric said, I always thought Cozy dressed like a hallway in an old hotel. And Eric Swift said, Cozy puts on the glasses and somehow looks even cooler.
Hey, I appreciate you. To the hallway comment, I think they've been talking with my stylist because that's NDA information right there. Right? That's what I asked for specifically. And the bro, I get roasted for anything. I wore this exact hoodie the other day, and someone was like on my channel, they were like, boy, looks like he's wearing a hoodie out of a space movie. I don't even know what it was. I was like, I can't even wear like a white t-shirt, you know. It's even Shroud was like, dude, is that guy wearing beat headphones? Are those things still a thing? I'm like, oh my god, I'm going down. But anyway, thank you for the glasses compliment.
Buddy, I will tell you, first of all, you looked so cool. That's one of my favorite things I've ever seen. I saw it live, and it actually blew my mind. Doing the slide in with the glasses and doing it perfectly too was absolutely incredible. But one thing that you guys like in the audience would not know, if you're a content creator and you're getting so I get between 20 and 45K views on a video. Your rivals say you're getting 2 million views or whatever, right? All those people, right? If you have a piece of hair out the wrong way, or if you have not shaved, or you missed it, or anything, you mispronounce one word even so slightly, dude, 15 people informing you of your error. It's one of those things you kind of just got to get used to. Already, I guarantee on your side of Snapchat, which most people watch first, at least 5 comments about the fact that my face looks red, which for some reason today it looks more red than usual. I think it's because we're using less lights. Guaranteed someone on your side has commented about how I look red, or I look like Thanos, or my face is purple, or something like that. And it's just one of those things, man. You got to just accept it. You just got to accept it, man.
Got to roll with it, man. Yeah, that was the first thing you got to get over in content creation, no question. Yeah, I dress like a hallway man, I rock it.
You do, dude. But hey, listen, if only I had your sense of style, buddy, I would look just as good. Maybe I got to get those frosted tips, bud. Would I look good? White headphones, frosted tips?
You look great. I need to go to bed.
I know. We both got to go to bed. Buddy, I'm 3 hours ahead of you. So, guys, you guys have yourselves a wonderful night. Thanks so much for watching the Snapchat, listening to the Snapchat, supporting our content. It truly means a lot to us. And we'll see you on that next one.